Hi there and welcome to anybody who's logged on through the website or anybody who is surfing around on YouTube. What we're going to do is bring to you a little demonstration on the Travel Hammock from DD Hammocks. We've been looking for in RV Ops a hammock which is durable and affordable, does the business, and sits nicely along the Hennessy range, giving you guys out there a little bit of choice. The DD Hammock fits the bill perfectly. We've a lot of people using it, we've used it ourselves, and we really rate it as an alternative. So without further ado, what we'll do is we'll pan across to the hammock and I'll talk to you a little bit in detail about certain features and ways in which we feel we've improved it, and maybe a few top tips for you. So if you just pan around here, Pete. Okay, we'll start at this end first. One of the things that we've found through using it ourselves and through feedback that we've had off people is that if you use the line that comes directly off the hammock and tie it directly to your tree, what happens is the line is actually poking out from underneath the tarp over the top, and if it lashes it down with rain, the line gets soaked and it wicks the moisture down to your hammock. Inevitably, if the weather is bad enough, it's going to end up soaking you inside. So what we've done is we've taken a strop climbing piece of tape and we've used that to attach to a tree, and on the end of this we've basically put our carabiner. So if any water is running down this strop, it's going to hit the carabiner and fall to the floor, bearing in mind that underneath, this will basically be underneath the tarp. Okay, moving down, one of the things that we like is attention to detail. DD as a company listen to what their customers tell them and they act upon it. Very strong. At the points of stress on this hammock, they've triple stitched it, so you've got real strength and durability there. And in the places that don't have so much of an impact in respect of stress, they've double stitched it. The base of the hammock is a PU 3000 waterproof or water coated material. So the beauty of this is that if you're caught out and about and there aren't any trees, you can actually lay this on the ground and put your roll mat or your thermarest on top of this, which is waterproof, put your tarp over the top, no problems, you can get your head down. So that is a real bonus as far as we're concerned. Okay, other things to note, obviously it comes in with a built-in mosquito net. Mosquito net will keep all the midges and the mosquitoes, if you're using it abroad, will keep them out quite nicely. One of the things that we do like about this is the fact that DD have incorporated this system here, which if used in conjunction with the stick and the elasticated cord running off to the tree, will actually lift the mosquito net off the user inside. So that's really excellent. One of the things that we think that you should do though, apart from obviously practice with all the equipment that you're going to use in the field, before you use it in anger, take it out and practice with it, then it avoids disappointment when you're out and about and makes your trip a lot more enjoyable. We would suggest that it's possibly worth manufacturing a pair of sticks, one for each end, manufacturing a pair of sticks and carry those with you, so when you arrive in location they're part of the hammock. Other things to note is that on the hammock you've got double zips on this side and you've got double zips on the other side. Okay, so entry into the hammock. Getting into the hammock, which we'll demonstrate later on in this demonstration, isn't a problem. One of the problems we have found, however, is that if you are in your hammock and you want to bring this zip back down to meet the other zip, it's actually a little bit of a balancing trick without falling out your hammock, reaching forward to try and get hold of it. So what we suggest is use a little bit of cord, attach that onto the inside zip like so, and then have the cord inside with you. So get into your sleeping bag, onto your hammock, you lay yourself down, you find your cord and you pull your cord, and obviously the zip then is done up. So that means you don't have to stretch so far forward and unbalance yourself. Alright, other things, Pete, if you have a look at this. As well as the loops on the outside, they've actually been replicated on the inside too. So if bearing in mind that this is at both ends, if you were to take a piece of elasticated cord from this loop and attach it to the other loop, you could then you've then got a piece of cord to say hang very, very light things like maybe your glasses, maybe get away with a light book as long as it was wedged right up this end, but you've got a stowage space to put equipment like socks and stuff like that. The other thing that you may be interested in, which is very worthy of a note, is at both ends you've got a velcroed pocket. So things like mobile phones, notebooks, etc. you can keep stowed away without them disappearing underneath you. On this side of the hammock, it doesn't exist on the other side, you only need one opening really, is a sleeve, yeah, to put your thermarest or your roll mat. In effect what that does is insulates you from the surrounding air. And the other thing is, if it was in a particularly nasty midge area and maybe you hadn't got a hammock with such an excellent base, it stops you from being stung through the rear end by mosquitoes landing on the underside of your hammock. We've all been there, we've all felt it, it's not particularly pleasant. So that there is a sleeve which has got Velcro on it in 3 points, yeah, to secure your roll mat or your thermarest in place. Now one of the things that we've found is it's quite useful to do is possibly put the roll mat or the thermarest in place before you put the hammock up. That way you can get it centralized within the hammock. Okay, what I'm going to do now is demonstrate getting into the hammock. I know this might sound a little bit strange, but this is for all those people out there who worry about falling out. There is a little bit of a technique to it and I'll demonstrate it now. So undoing your hammock, take your zips all the way up, and then basically you ruche the hammock up into your hands so that you basically when you sit down you're sitting into the center of the hammock like so. Then push the material forward so it's behind your legs. Now this is the trick. Like this, it's very, very comfortable, but the trick now is to move in one movement your legs and your body up. So if you're going to lie down either way, you then swing your legs up. So like so, up and lie down. Bring this over the top. Very, very nice, very, very comfortable. So that's the hammock, loads of space inside, very comfortable. Getting out exactly the same, just the reverse. Yeah, turn round and sit up. One of the nice things about this is that you can use this just as a seat, just for chilling out and sitting about. One of the other things is, which is really, really good, is that if you take a piece of paracord, if you're working underneath your tarp, you can take the whole thing up like so, which holds it above your work area underneath. Or if you prefer, if it's in the middle of summer, there's a nice breeze, you can just tie up the mosquito net to keep it out of the way. So there you go, that's the travel hammock from DD Hammocks. As I said, we've used it, we've abused it, and so have many others, and the feedback we get is that it's an excellent piece of kit. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Cheers.